Hi guys, Trevor Swenson with Through the Darkness, my personal journey with PTSD and trauma and stressor-related disorder. I wanted to take a moment today to talk about two of the more powerful things that can be said to somebody that is walking through a mental illness or a trauma or the results of a trauma or a season of trauma or seasons of trauma as far as healing to the soul goes. In my walk with PTSD, I've had a lot of time to reflect, as I've told you, and I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned about the complexities of PTSD. I've learned about the impacts on family and friends, on your body, on your mind. But I've also tried to fill my mind with things that are that are healing and things that help me to focus on the fact that I am going to come through the darkness on the other side. And part of that obviously is letting the light of Christ come into my darkness and to be there with me in the darkness and to be that light in the darkness as I move through the darkness. And I hope you've chosen to do the same thing as well, to never give up and to keep moving through, yet to invite the light of Christ into your situation and to ask him maybe to use the pain for a greater purpose, which is my number one priority. That even though my life is very different now for a season, and even though I've been deeply impacted, my greatest aspiration is for my pain to have purpose, to help, even if it's just one person. As I've said before, if it's one person that finally gets help, if it's one person that reaches out for help, if it's one person that keeps going, my journey has been worth it through PTSD. And one of the things you know as well is that I've chosen to do this in the midst of my PTSD for a lot of reasons, because I want to do it real time, and I also want to give encouragement to people that are in the midst of battling major depressive disorder or an anxiety disorder or PTSD, that number one, you are not alone. And what I'm finding is that that mental illness and mental disorders are just far more common than society would lead us to believe. There are a lot of hurting people out there, myself and my family included, and to not be alone is a very, very powerful thing, to not walk through something being alone. And so that's one of the two things I wanted to talk about, two very key things that I feel are important when you recognize that either you are suffering from something like I am, or you know somebody who is. Not being alone is extremely important, and it's one of the reasons that I challenge you to have a relationship with Christ, because even though I'm not doing well, Christ is doing well, and Christ will meet me exactly where I'm at in my walk with PTSD. The lowest of lows, the highest of highs, he is there. Nothing can separate that. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is, and it was a lecture I was listening to on trauma, and one of the most powerful things that you can say to somebody that has been traumatized or is struggling with trauma or has PTSD is the simple phrase, I believe you. I believe you. I believe that your relationship with your father was horribly abusive. I believe the pain that you are going through. I believe that you are suffering every day. I believe that you are struggling with your self-worth right now. I believe And the list goes on, but I believe you is so important. And in my walk with PTSD, I will tell you that I've seen both ends of the spectrum of this, and I will tell you how powerful it is for somebody to say, I believe you. I believe you. I can see it. I believe you. I believe you. And I know the pain of the other side of the spectrum, where maybe there are doubts, or maybe there is complete lack of understanding, or there is ignorance. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do this channel is to help people to understand how pervasive PTSD and trauma is. And as I've talked before, it can come from so many different things. It can come from physical actions. It can come from personal interactions. It can come from relational interactions. Only you know what is traumatizing to you, and only you know what it has done to your life and to your soul and to your well-being. And that is the reason that the phrase I believe you is so important in helping somebody to heal and walk through PTSD. Again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a counselor, but I will tell you that PTSD is as real as it ever could be in my life. And I just want to encourage people to swing alongside people that are hurting and suffering, and to listen to their stories and to validate them with words like, I believe you. How can I help you? What is it that you need from me as we walk through this together? You are never alone. And even if you feel like you are in the most lonely season of a walk with a disorder, like I'm walking through life with right now, I know that I am never truly alone. Nothing can separate me from the love of Christ. Absolutely nothing. Life nor death, nothing can separate me. I am never alone when it comes to that. And so I need to dwell on that during the lonely times of this journey. So I just wanted to give you those two things. You are never alone, and I believe you are powerful. This is Trevor Swenson with Through the Darkness. I can't wait to speak with you again. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, forward this on to somebody that might need some help. The greatest purpose in life is helping others. We'll see you soon.